Welcome to Azzadous Studios. In this video we're going to continue my UK hardcore breakdown series, and we're going to take a look at the leads, crash, the reverse crash, the snare roll. Also, when I hit 1000 subscribers I'm going to be giving away a free hip hop drum loop sample pack. So make sure you subscribe and ring the bell to keep up to date with future videos. Okay, so in this part we're going to look at the lead and whether or not to bring it in on the build-up. I like to bring it in. I like to give the listener a taste of what's about to come, or just to introduce that sound. What I'm going for in this one is I'll just switch these two on and I'll show you not the end products, because the sound of the lead is going to be changed, but the style of the introduction to the lead. So what I'm doing is I've got two separate leads, both orientated around the vocal melody. So the main melody, when it drops, is basically following the chorus of the vocal. So at the moment it's just a basic saw, nothing special. I'm just going to leave it like that for the time being. And what I've done on the build up is created a separate sound, a separate melody. And what I can do with this is maybe bring this in later as an alternate melody. But I just wanted to introduce that sound so that when the drop comes, it's not just out of nowhere. So if I play this with the rest of the build up, so it's going to get switched up a little bit, but that's the basic idea there. Really quickly, before I go ahead with anything else, sorting this lead out, I'm just going to show you an alternate way. There's many different ways you can introduce your lead, but another way that you could be done, and that's with using the same lead and filtering it in. So I'm just going to slap a filter on there. I'm going to switch it to a low pass. So I'm going to switch over to the automation. Let's just solo that out. I'm just going to chop these last notes off. Okay, so it's starting off a bit low there, so I'm going to bring that filter up. Actually, that last bit can stay in, but what I'm going to do is drop the filter down. So there, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. And then just slope this towards the end. So that's another way of doing it. Personally, for this particular track, I'm not going to do it that way. There's many different ways. One good way, which may work later on in this track, is by sort of bringing your breakdown to an almost stop, and then maybe like a glitchy sort of dubby effect, and then just a massive explosion with your synth coming straight in. At the moment, that's not going to make much impact if I show you that right now, because I've not got any effects on my lead. I've not tweaked the lead. I've not got all my compression on and stuff like that. So it's plus with how the build-up's going at the moment, there's nowhere for me to really stick that, especially how I've got the bass building like that. So for this one, I'm just going to leave it like this with the first option that I had. If you think you prefer, I'll play both of them. If you think you prefer this one over the other one, I'll play them both now. Let me know in the comments. And I'll play the other one. That's personally my favourite, and what I can do with that as well is add another filter on that, so bring that in a little bit just towards start. I do like the sound of it being in all the way, so I'm not going to roll it off too much, but just to give it a little bit more movement. So let me know which one you prefer in the comments below, and let's crack on with this. So what I'm going to do is EQ this. Although I am going ahead with this section, if you think the other section is nice, what I might do is use that on the second drop, something like that. So let me know anyway. I'm not going to go too much into the lead, as I'm going to be changing the sound of the lead anyway. So what I'm going to do is just show you roughly what I would do for this particular sound. I just want to basically tighten up the EQ so that we're out of the way of the piano. So what I'm going to do on the piano is add a compressor, Live 8 compressor, and I'm going to go for the side chain from track 27. And I'm just going to very slightly duck it out of the way so that the lead is a bit more predominant than the piano is. But I don't want it to absolutely squash the piano. Okay, so the attack and release is a bit quick on that. I'm going to bring the release up. So already that's too much. Okay, so what I'm going to do there is take this. I'm going to take the entire synths group. I'm just going to rename this lead. And then on this, I'm going to put another Live 8 compressor, and I'm going to sidechain this from the vocal. Now, I haven't done much with the vocals at the moment. I've got a lot of vocal tracks here with different takes and different harmonies and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is just take this first one just to show you. I know I can't do because it doesn't have that section in it. I'll take the entire vocal group. And we're gonna, again, so really slightly, but we're gonna duck the lead out of the way of the vocal. So I'm going to bring the volume of this lead up a little bit. Now that we're ducking the lead out of the way of the vocal, they're not fighting for volume as much anymore. So we can bring the lead back up a little bit, just so that when the vocal is not hitting, the lead is going to creep back in. Okay, so in this section we're going to take a look at the percussion, crash, reverse crash, snare roll, stuff like that. So I'm going to, what I usually do, start with a crash. What we'll do, we'll go to the Stonebank pack. There's some really nice crashes in there. And I usually use either 6 or 4, and I might use both, you know, just to give a bit of variation. For the breakdown, I think I'm going to use this number 6. And I'm just going to unwarp it, leave it as it is. So what I'm going to do is EQ it. I'm just going to take out some of the lows. Let's solo it. That's about right. And then I'm just going to stick a replica on it. I usually go straight 1/4 ping pong. Bring the mix down a bit, because when we compress this, it's going to bring the reverb, the delay up a little bit. I'm going to bring the feedback down. And that's about right for that. I'm going to add some reverb. I'm just going to add this lustrous plate. I'm just going to get a nice drum one on this. Let's try bright ambience. No, bright ambience. I'm just going to bring the dry wet down. And then I'm going to add a compressor. Since I got the drama, I have been using that for my percussion and for compressing most things, but I don't want to involve that too much while I'm doing a tutorial. So obviously it works the same as any software compressor as well, but just quicker if I show you on software. So I'm just going to bring in a CLA 76, bring the release up. And I'm going to go for between -3 and -5 dB of gain reduction. And then from that, what I'm going to do is insert another audio track. I'm going to set the input to resampling. I'm going to switch the arm on the track so that this track's recording. Solo the crash. I'm just going to click record. Let that play out. I'm just going to shorten it to four bars there. That'll do. and then bring the volume down on the tail. I'm just going to switch this back to no input. Okay, so I'm going to Control and J that to consolidate it. I'm going to open it up and click reverse here. And then I'm going to drag this before this crash. And rather than dragging it back again to leave a little bit of a gap, I'm going to cut the end off, because at the end we've got quite a harsh clip there. And we just want the nice reverse of it. So plus, if we leave it there and cut the end, all the ping pong delay is still left in time. So if I just cut, let's say, bar off that. Is that a bar? We'll just cut that a little bit off. Unsolo that.
As I walk through a storm, as I walk through a storm, and it's all.
So we can cut a bit more off that there, because the vocal comes in. So.
As I walk through a storm, and it's all.
Okay, so now I'm going to bring in a snare roll. So I want this snare to start right on the drop, right on this bass build up. So first of all, I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to create some little fills in between these notes. So at the moment it sounds a bit too loud, it's a bit too messy. So what I'm going to do is bring in a filter. We're just going to low pass it. Let's select the frequency, bring it down. I'm just going to play with the filter so it sounds nice little build up. So I'm going to just cut the lows out of this. And then I'm going to add some reverb. Not a lot, just something like the like a drum verb. Let's try a snare verb, I'll do. So that's it for today's episode. If you like this video, please like and share, and remember to subscribe and ring the bell to keep up to date with future videos. I hope you're all having a productive week, and I'll see you next time.